Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to our online information event for the DeepMind Scholarship at Istanbul Technical University. My name is Nazim Kemal. I'm an associate professor at ITU. I am also the vice director of ITU Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Application and Research Center. Today, I will be moderating the discussion on DeepMind Scholarship at ITU. And I am joined by four brilliant young scientists today, Faiyaz, Gülçin, Bengisu, and Yağmur. I would like them to introduce themselves. They are currently DeepMind scholars at ITU. They are either doing their master's or PhD at the computer science department. Maybe we can have like a short introduction from you. It would be great. Gülçin, you can start.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Gülçin Baykalcan. I'm currently doing my PhD. I'm a first-year PhD student. I'm specifically working on computer vision and deep learning problems. That's all I can say for now.
Thanks, Gülçin. Yağmur, can you continue?
Hi, everyone. This is Yağmur. I am master degree student at Mechatronic Computer Engineering. This year, my scientific class year. That's all.
Thanks, Yağmur. Bengisu, do you want to continue?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I am Bengisu Gresti. I graduated from computer engineering and electronics and communication engineering. Right now, I'm a master's student at computer engineering. Again, my research focus is on deep reinforcement learning and multi-agent reinforcement learning.
Thanks, Bengisu. And lastly, Faiyaz, can you please continue?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this event. My name is Faiyaz and I'm also a Master of Science student in computer engineering at Istanbul Technical University. And it's my first year and I'm working on RL, most specifically offline RL. So that's all for now.
Thanks a lot, Faiyaz. And I would like to thank all the scholars again today for joining me. And of course, I want to thank DeepMind for providing us with this excellent opportunity for this scholarship program. So the main idea behind today's event is I want to introduce our master's and PhD programs a little bit on, of course, the kind of research we do at ITU AI. So the agenda for today is going to be first the introduction about the subjects. Then, of course, I'm going to talk about the details on the DeepMind Scholarship program. All this information is already available online on our website, but I want to go over them again in case there are some uncertain parts or in case you have questions. By the way, speaking about questions, if you have any questions about the scholarship program or if you have any questions for the scholars we have here today, you can post these questions on YouTube, and towards the end of the event, we will be collecting them and answering your questions. So please feel free to send questions to us. So after the introduction about the scholarship program, we are going to have a little chat with our current scholars. We are going to talk about their background, their experience, and how did they hear about the scholarship program? How was the application process? Do they have any recommendations for potential applicants? And of course, we are going to talk about their experience as a DeepMind scholar, like what kind of benefits they got from being a scholar in this program. How was the interaction with DeepMind? Overall, how did this contribute towards their career? And after the end of virtual chat, we will start answering your questions. All right, so let me start by introducing ITU and ITU AI a little bit. So our Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Research Center was founded approximately 2.5 years ago, I would say. And the main idea behind this research center was to basically gather all the people, all the faculty in ITU who are doing artificial intelligence research so that we can basically put our powers together and do high quality, high impact research. So although most of the founding members are from the Faculty of Computer Science and Informatics, we are also joined by a lot of other excellent researchers from other faculties, ranging from aeronautics and astronautics faculty like myself. And we also have people from civil engineering, mathematics department, physics department. So basically, this is a research center that brings together all the researchers who are interested in doing artificial intelligence research. We also have an excellent advisory board, whom are basically excellent researchers and business people all across the globe, from MIT to DeepMind to Vestal Ventures, Eczacıbaşı Holding, Amazon, and University of Tübingen. And we also have access to computational resources at our where we can do large-scale artificial intelligence experiments. So that is kind of like a summary of what kind of people and resources we have access to at ITU AI. And to get an understanding of the people, we currently have 49 members, among whom 17 are professors, 16 are associates, and 11 are assistant professors. And like I mentioned, we are actually we are covering all the major faculties at ITU. Mainly people are from computer engineering, but we also have a lot of people from other departments as well. And the main objectives of our Artificial Intelligence Research Center can be categorized in three categories, which are education, R&D, and product development. And in terms of education, we have a lot of undergraduate and graduate courses going on at ITU, where we are continually updating all the lectures and content in order to match the modern requirements set by modern research in artificial intelligence and data science. So just to give you an idea of what kind of courses that you can take from ITU, here are some of the courses we currently have on the left-hand side of the slide. And on the right-hand side, you are looking at some of the courses that we are planning to open. Since the DeepMind Scholarship program actually requires you to be admitted to either master's or PhD program at ITU Computer Science department, we wanted to present you that, what kind of courses we have in here. And you can see that all the modern courses that you can take on artificial intelligence, data science, and related topics, we actually have here at ITU. And we are continually updating and revising this content so that we can match to the level of top universities in this area. So for instance, deep learning, deep reinforcement learning, natural language processing, advanced computer vision, all of these topics are being taught at ITU. And these are not old lectures. Like I said, we are always revising our lecture content so that we can actually provide you with the most up-to-date information on how you can do engineering and research on artificial intelligence. But of course, education is not only our strong point. We are also doing a lot of research and development. And this is actually one of the main missions of our research center, how we can expand the capacity of R&D in Turkey in terms of artificial intelligence. And we are leveraging the fact that artificial intelligence can help not only in basic sciences, but applied sciences as well. And currently, we are covering a lot of different sectors. We are doing research and collaborations with industry on virtually every possible application of artificial intelligence. We have professors who are working on energy applications. I myself do a lot of work in defense and aeronautics and space. We also have people who are working on logistics, communication, etc. So basically, if you are interested in applied artificial intelligence, honestly, you cannot find a better university to attend in Turkey. Almost every major application of artificial intelligence is being studied here, being applied here. And this is not only theoretical research, we actually do collaborate with a lot of industrial partners. All of these partners that you see in here, they are major companies and institutions from Turkey. Everyone you can think from defense to aerospace to media, we have connections with. And these are not just straightforward sponsorships. We are actually actively collaborating. They are with all these companies. They are funding our research center. They are funding our graduate students. And so we have a very strong industry-university relationship in ITU, and our Artificial Intelligence Research Center sit at the center of this. So if you get admitted to one of our programs, you will have the opportunity to collaborate with these companies and publish high-quality, high-impact research. And we also have sponsors who are, outside the projects, who are actively supporting us with data and other kind of expertise. Again, you can see a lot of major, companies in Turkey who are collaborating with us. And in terms of international cooperations with other companies and organizations, we also have excellent relationships with international companies such as Amazon and DeepMind. And of course, today's topic is DeepMind, and our collaboration started last year, where we started this DeepMind Scholarship Program, which is actually a global program. DeepMind collaborates with a lot of top universities in the world with the scholarship program. And we had this excellent opportunity to start this collaboration with them last year, and we were able to allocate these scholarships to 5 students last year, of 4 you are actually seeing today with us. And today I'm going to talk about this DeepMind Scholarship Program in a little bit detail. I'm going to go over the application process, qualifications, and all of that, which you can already find online, by the way. If you go to our website, ai.itu.edu.tr, you can find all the information there. I am just going through this again, just to make some points clear. And if you have any questions about that, please, enter your questions to YouTube chat, and we will have the opportunity to discuss that later. Okay, so the DeepMind Scholarship Program, in order to apply for this program, you must first be a female student who are working in this area. And sometimes people ask this question a lot, so I want to clarify this a little bit, why this scholarship is only applicable for female students. And that is mainly the spirit of the scholarship program. So DeepMind scholarship programs, the main objective is to empower the underrepresented groups in computer science. And that can actually vary across different countries, and that can actually depend on your ethnical background or your gender. In Turkey, when we were discussing the scholarship program, we decided that one of the underrepresented groups, maybe the most important underrepresented groups in computer science, are female researchers. We feel like not enough female researchers are in academia, and not enough female students are attending to master's and PhD programs. So that is why we targeted this DeepMind scholarship program towards female applicants, so only they can apply to this program. But if you are looking for financial support, and if you are not fitting to this description, feel free to send your information to us. We also have a lot of alternative financial support from our industrial collaborators and lots of other projects. So like I mentioned, only female students can apply. And this year we are also welcoming international applications. So if you are an international female student who are thinking about doing a master's or PhD in Turkey, you are welcome to apply. There is no, there is no limit on, whether you can apply or not. And in terms of the admittance to ITU, so we are only accepting new students who are admitted to ITU Computer Engineering Program for the fall 2021 and 2022 term. So you should be either admitted to a master's program or a PhD program at ITU Computer Engineering. Unfortunately, we are not accepting people who are getting admitted to new programs. Also, we are not accepting people who are already, continuing their education in this department. So this is only for new students. And of course, if you want to apply, you should be committed to doing original research in the field of artificial intelligence. If your research interests are not aligned with artificial intelligence, again, this is not a program for you. And in terms of benefits, and I believe our current scholars are also going to talk about this in detail, but let me go over the items. In terms of duration, if you get admitted to master's program, this is going to cover 2 years of your studies, and for PhD, this is going to cover 4 years of your PhD. So the scholarship, the financial support, and all the other support will basically covers the standard duration for master's and PhD programs. And in terms of financial support, you are going to receive $1,000 every month. So this is a monthly stipend that you can basically spend on anything you want on. And besides the financial support, we also have one-off support for equipment and travel. In terms of equipment, there's a one-off grant of $1,500 that you can use to buy equipment. So you can either purchase a laptop with this money, or basically you can purchase anything as long as it relates to your research. So you can also buy other kind of equipment. For example, if you are doing robotic research, you can buy some hardware with that money. And every year, we are also giving a travel grant of $100 US. And you can use this money to attend conferences, pay for your registration fee, pay for your hotel fees, so anything to support your travel expenses. And we try to give this grant especially for situations where you write a paper, it gets accepted, and you want to present this paper at a conference, but it is not limited to that. You can also use this money to attend educational events, seminars, summer schools. So again, as long as it relates to your research, as long as it relates to your career development, you can use this money for travels. And this money, it's actually renewed every year. So you can use this 2 times in your master's, and you can use this 4 times in your PhD. And finally, maybe the most important benefit of all, beyond financial support, we also have a mentorship support. So every scholar is matched with a researcher on DeepMind, where they regularly meet online to get advice and mentorship on personal career development in the field of artificial intelligence. So I'm going to let my scholars explain actually this side of the mentorship, since they have one-to-one experience on that. So when we go into the virtual chat, I'm sure they are going to share their experiences with you regarding, what kind of mentorship they receive from these researchers and what kind of benefits they saw. And this is an excellent opportunity because DeepMind, as I'm sure all of you know, has some of the world's most brilliant researchers who are working on artificial intelligence. So this is like a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get mentorship and advice from them. And in terms of application process, everything is online. Actually, it is very straightforward. You need to just collect your documents and send them to info.itu@itu.edu.tr before the deadline. And in terms of required documents, we don't actually require much. You just need to send us your CV and your academic transcript. And on top of that, you need to add a statement of purpose. So this is a document that basically, it is actually not that different from statement of purposes that you write when you are applying to master's and PhD programs on foreign universities. Basically, we want to learn about what is your experience in artificial intelligence, like why are you interested in this field, what kind of work you did in this field, and what excites you about this field. And most importantly, we want to see your future research objectives. If you get admitted, what are you planning to do? What kind of AI topics are most exciting for you? What kind of research topics you are planning to study on? And to be honest, this document is very, very important. We want to basically see that you are excited about AI research. And of course, you know something about artificial intelligence. I'm not saying that you need to have published papers or you need to have some amazing projects or you need to have some excellent background, but we need to see, some inclination or some excitement about artificial intelligence. So this document is very important. And I'm sure our scholars today will also share some of their experiences on drafting this document. And of course, we are going to need some reference letter. So you can send up to 3 reference letters. And this should be, of course, again, people who you worked with in the past who can talk objectively about your research skills. And all of these documents should be complete. If you are missing any of these documents, your application will be ignored. And in terms of timeline, our current deadline is 25th of June. So you need to send all of these documents to our application email by this deadline. So I believe the deadline for ITU Masters and PhD programs is around 7th of July, if I'm not mistaken. So after those application processes ends, both for this scholarship program and both for our Masters and PhD program, we are going to pool all the applicants together, and then we are going to do some elimination and have a short list. And in this short list, we are going to actually interview the scholarship candidates who are already admitted to the graduate program. So if you didn't get admitted to the master's or PhD program, unfortunately, you can't get the scholarship. So we are only going to interview people who are already admitted to the program. And the date for this interview is not set yet. We will announce that when the time comes. And shortly after the interviews, we are going to announce the results. And then once you are starting the fall term at ITU, either as a master's or PhD students, you will know whether you are a scholar or not. So this is the overview of the scholarship program. If you have any questions, please write those questions on YouTube chat box, and we will be answering them. Both me and our scholars will answer them after our virtual chat. So at this point, I want to stop my presentation. Okay, and I want to start chatting with our, brilliant young scientists. I know each of them personally, and I am very happy and excited to, talk with them today. So we are going to talk with each of them separately, and basically we are going to go over their experience on being a DeepMind scholar. So I will start just some randomly. So in my screen, Yağmur is the first one. So I will start with Yağmur. Yağmur, once again, thank you for attending this event. Can you hear me, Yağmur?
Yes, hocam.
Okay, great. So I want to, Yağmur, start with asking your background, like where did you study, where did you get your bachelor's degree, and then how did you hear about this program and how did you apply? Can you share those initial steps a little bit with us?
Okay. First, I graduated at mechatronical engineering. My origin is different at computer engineering. Then, actually, I graduated in 2017. Then I start two different company. I work at industry for 3 years. I was R&D engineer. I work smartphone projects and international projects like Cell Techniques, ITA3 and Horizon 2020. After that, when I work in international project, I decided to apply master degree program because I want to develop myself in academic area. Then I applied computer engineering master degree program in Istanbul Technical University. When I checking university announcement, I saw DeepMind scholarship announcement, and after that, I consult my professor, who is director of AI Center at Istanbul Technical University. And my professor encouraged me to apply this scholarship program. After that, I applied. I am really happy to accept this program, actually, because if I didn't accept this program, I will continue industry, and my plan was more than 3 years maybe. After three years, I also do this thing, but it's possible, kind of possible.
Nice. So Yağmur, you actually have an interesting case. First, you are saying that your bachelor's degree is not in computer science. So that's actually a nice example. You do not need to have a computer science background in order to get admitted into this program and scholarship. And another interesting thing that you said is you were actually working at industry, right?
Yes.
And would you say that, for instance, this scholarship program enabled you to transition from industry to academia? Maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
Actually, yes, definitely, because I also be an academician in the future. But in the future, yes, I want to be a professor in AI science. But when I was working at industry, I need to work on many different projects. So I didn't have any time to directly focus on AI or machine learning thing. By the way, my current research area is AI assist network management currently, but previously it was different, diverse, because as I said, I work on different projects its industry. And now I just can focus on my research area and I can develop myself directly this area. So this transition was really good for me.
Nice. And maybe you can talk about a little bit your experience as a DeepMind scholar, especially the mentorship part, because I believe this is the part where most people have questions, because the financial support part is obvious, it is helpful. But can you explain, for example, the benefits of this DeepMind mentorship and talk about that a little bit?
Firstly, DeepMind assigns each scholar to different mentor. And we have monthly meeting with our mentor. And we talk about current situation of technology. And if I stuck in any problem, I can directly consult with him. And he directed me to true way. And actually, it broadens my perspective. And we can easily meet other people who work at our area. So it's really good thing about DeepMind. Because DeepMind also have online events, so we can meet to other people.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me that. That is one thing I forgot to mention. Another benefit of this scholarship program is DeepMind organizes a lot of events, and on those events, you can actually meet and chat with other scholars, other people in this area. So, right, that is another great benefit. Okay, maybe lastly, Amur, do you have any recommendations for potential applicants for this year, like either in terms of preparing the documents or maybe the tips for interview?
Actually, I was really hesitant to apply this scholarship program before I consult with my professor. So because of this, don't hesitate anything, directly apply and just share your background about machine learning or AI. Or you can also write your working area, which in the future you want to work. So all of them is important. Just don't hesitate. I can say this easily.
Yes, thanks actually for that tip, because based on other people, other potential applicants that I've talked with, it seems like people hesitate because DeepMind has a this very high bar, right? I mean, they have some of the most excellent researchers in the world. So sometimes people expecting that the scholars, potential scholars, should have amazing backgrounds on published papers and stuff like that. Let me also say that this is not the case. Although if you have published papers in artificial intelligence, of course it will help, but that is not required at all. As long as you have interest in artificial intelligence and you can actually portray that interest to us, then you are standing a good chance. Of course, your reference letters and your academic background also helps a lot. Thanks a lot, Yağmur. Were there anything else you want to add or mention?
For now, no, I don't say.
Okay, thanks a lot again, Yağmur. And by the way, DeepMind also interviewed Yağmur a couple of months ago, I believe, and they are actually going to publish this interview on the DeepMind website, which we are also going to share soon. So that is maybe another benefit of being a scholar. DeepMind promotes those scholars actively. So if you get admitted in this scholarship program, you will also have a chance to put yourself on the map, basically, promote your research and your background. Thanks a lot, Yağmur. So I am going to move into the next scholar. Again, in my screen, next scholar is actually Faiyaz. Hello, Faiyaz.
Hello.
Hello, and once again, thanks for attending this event. So Faiyaz, I basically have the same questions. Maybe you can start by talking about your background, your bachelor's degree, and how did you hear about this scholarship program, and talk a little bit about application process, maybe.
Okay. First of all, thank you for this opportunity. It was really beneficial for all of us, I guess. So I would like to thank you and the DeepMind organizers. about my background, I have graduated from computer engineering with mechanical engineering double major from Marmara University in 2018. And during my other graduate studies, I completed one of my internships with one of my professors on reinforcement learning. Basically, I've learned the idea and some of the basic stuff about reinforcement learning. So it was like, it was the first time I saw AI in my life. So then I worked as a researcher on a European Union project. It was about Industry 4.0. It was about making production lines more efficient. So we were using some machine learning and we were collecting data, etc. So it was related to AI as well. And then I worked as a software engineer for about 2 years. Mainly, I was working as a software engineer, but also I was working on RL. I was developing some stuff on simulator. So I've developed myself. I improved myself on this as well. So a bit. And then one of my best friends saw the post on LinkedIn about this DeepMind scholarship, and he told me. So at that time, last summer, I was looking for the master opportunities. So like I knew that I wanted to, in the long run, I wanted to work on the research-oriented organization. So I don't want to be an academician. But I see myself as a research scientist or engineer in the future. So I was looking this kind of opportunities, so working on the lab or something like that. So not like not exactly industry as a software engineer. So my friend told me that this is a good opportunity for you. So it's tailored for you. So you should apply. And so I've applied. And about application process. So first of all, I have applied to the Istanbul Technical University Master of Science, as Nazim Kemal told. And then I was a bit hesitant as well, like Yağmur, because I wasn't sure what are they expecting from us. So like, am I enough, like this kind of question? But like I just wanted to brush up my skills in the statement of purpose and CV. Like I've written all of my experience related to AI and research, and I showed my enthusiasm about autonomy. So it's and as a suggestion, I can say that if you want to see yourself in the future in a research-oriented organization working on AI, or as an academician working on AI, you should apply and you should show your passion and your experience on that, so that it's easier for you to get this kind of opportunity. So as a summary, I can say that.
Okay, excellent. So that is, again, actually very interesting. Similar to Yağmur, you also had a career in industry, working as an engineer. And based on what you said, you wanted to transition into a more research-oriented career, not necessarily academia, right? You wanted to be a researcher in industry.
Yeah.
And would you say that this program helped you to transition from industry to a graduate program where you can focus 100% on research?
Yes, I can say that for sure, because in this kind of career path, as far as I showed, to become a research scientist or research engineer, you should follow the path Bachelor of Science, Master of Science, and PhD mostly. So to follow this kind of path, you should somehow show the experience papers, etc., to reach the next step. So for example, I want to apply for a PhD, and for that I need to show some background, work on research. So that's why it's important to experience research. Somehow you can also experience research in industry as well, but it's very limited as far as I see. So it's better to work in a lab like this, like we are doing, or like work research-oriented thing mainly, not like a software engineer, but focused on research. So it requires you to if you follow the path to become a research scientist, this step should be focused on the research. So becoming a software engineer is not enough for that kind of path. So this is the answer.
Yeah, that's actually an excellent point. So a lot of people who are doing masters or PhD in Turkey, because of the lack of financial support, they need to work and do a master's and PhD at the same time, which is okay, which is certainly doable. But like you mentioned, Faiza, if you want a research-oriented career, if you want to publish papers, then it is actually very difficult to do that while you are also working full-time for an engineering company. So being a full-time graduate student, that enables you to focus only on research and publish papers. And I'm glad to hear that, the scholarship helped you to, transition towards that kind of role. Okay, last question, Faiza. Do you have any, two questions. I'm moving a bit fast. Can you also talk a little bit about your experience as a DeepMind scholar? For example, in the mentorship part, like what was your experience? What did you get out of those kind of support?
I should say that I realized that they're also human. So,
that's actually good.
Yeah, I mean, they're brilliant, of course. They are really hardworking people, of course. But at the same time, they're struggling with problems like we all do. So after I've admitted to this program, and after I talked with my mentor, I thought that it's like role model for us. So if we work hard, if we give enough time or give enough work, we can be a research scientist like them. So also like you, Hocam. So you are all human. So it's hard to realize that beforehand. So right now it's more doable for me.
Thanks a lot, Faiza. That's actually another great point, and that actually reflects my experience as well. So when I got admitted to PhD at MIT, I also had similar concerns. All of these people there are, probably superhuman, super genius people. So I was really intimidated by it. But once you go and start meeting and talking with these people, you realize that, of course, they are not that different. They are maybe a little bit more driven, more hardworking. But other than that, if anybody puts enough work, enough time and dedication, anybody can actually become a research scientist in AI. So I'm glad that you also got that experience. And that's a very nice message, because as Turkish people, we also have this tendency to belittle ourselves. Sometimes, we always think that other people are more smart, better than us. But of course, that is not the case. As long as you put time to it, you can actually achieve the same level of success. Last question, Faiza, do you have any tips or recommendations for potential applicants this year?
I can say that first assess yourself. So what do you want to do in the long run? So if you want to work as a researcher at some point in your life in the long run, you should somehow work on it, get some experience and show that, write the recommendation letter according to that, put that experience in CV, etc. So, but first you should assess yourself what you want to do.
Nice. Thanks a lot, Faiza. Thanks for your time. Okay, so I want to move on to the next speaker. Again, in the order of my discipline, that is actually Gülçin. Hello, Gülçin, and thanks again for spending time with us. So I'm basically going to ask the same questions. Your situation might be a little bit different because you are the only PhD student here. So you are going to be supported for 4 years, hopefully the entire duration of your PhD.
I hope so.
By the way, so PhDs can take longer. So I want to make that clear too, because some people asked me, your PhD can take longer than 4 years at ITU. DeepMind only covers 4 years of that, but of course you can continue your PhD after that. So Gülçin, I basically have the same questions. Maybe you can talk a little bit about your background. Obviously, you are more experienced because you also have a master's in artificial intelligence. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that and talk about the application process. How did you hear about the program and everything?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Gülçin, and I'm currently doing my PhD as a DeepMind scholar. I took my bachelor and master degrees from Istanbul Technical University Computer Engineering Department. I'm working with Professor Gözde Önal at ITÜ Vision Lab. I studied various topics of computer vision and deep learning at ITÜ Vision Lab, as I've been studying there since 2017. After I took my bachelor degree in 2018, I immediately started my master degree. And as a master student, I also started to work as a research and teaching assistant at ITU. I specifically worked on generative adversarial networks in my thesis, but I was also a part of different projects in our lab, mainly about unsupervised learning. As we are working on different topics other than my own topic, I was also a part of them. For example, currently I'm part of an image retrieval project, which is really different than my own topic, as a second author. I took my master degree in 2020. Then I started my PhD as a DeepMind scholar. In my PhD studies, I'm specifically working on representation learning problems. But of course, PhD can cover wide range of topics. So I can summarize the main topic of my studies with representation learning title. As I said, I took my bachelor and master degrees from ITU, so it was easy for me to hear about the news in ITU, especially the DeepMind scholarship program. And my advisor wanted me to apply to this program, but I was working as a research assistant. So to be honest, at first it was hard for me to leave my comfort zone because I was in the academia. I loved to help undergraduate students as an assistant, and it was a good job for me. I wasn't in the industry, and it wasn't hard for me to conduct my master studies and my original work at the same time. But as Nazim Hoca said, this scholarship is a once in a life chance. So I became a DeepMind scholar. So that was a great opportunity for me, especially as a PhD student, because if you are starting your PhD, that means that you are, how can I say, you are thinking to be an academician seriously. So PhD means that, and since DeepMind is a great place to work as a researcher, or it's a great place to have a networks. For example, we have mentors. I thought that I should apply it, and here I am.
Thanks a lot, Gülçin, for the excellent introduction. By the way, I'm interrupting you, but I got notified that a lot of other people just joined the conversation in YouTube. So I want to remind everyone that if you have any questions about the scholarship program, either to me or to scholars, feel free to write that in the chat box. So after the end of this virtual chat, like in about 10 minutes, we will start answering your questions. I believe we already have more than a couple of questions, but please feel free to ask anything you want to know about not only DeepMind scholarship program. You can also ask general questions about, graduate studies at ITU, computer engineering and research. This is an excellent opportunity because we have people who are, doing this, research and who are a part of the scholar program. So please feel free to send us your questions. Sorry for that interruption, Gülçin. Can you continue with talking about your experience as a scholar, especially the mentorship part or any other, additional benefits you want to talk about? Yeah.
Besides the financial support, we can say that financial support is great because we can directly focus on our studies, which is a great chance. But besides them, the best thing about the DeepMind scholarship is the mentorship program. For me, my mentor in DeepMind also graduated from ITU, and I was very happy when I heard that because I was like, hey, a person who graduated from IT is working on DeepMind currently. It was a great thing to learn. And he is very helpful and understanding, which is also good for a PhD student because different than the master degree, in PhD you're expected to contribute to the literature in a huge way, and it's a great burden. So sometimes you can feel burnout, and he always say that it's normal to feel in that way. So he motivated me. Other than this, for example, we decided to read papers before our monthly meetings and discuss them regularly. I have a chance to ask questions to him, and he clarified the things that I couldn't understand about that paper. So it's a great thing. They are not like our advisors. We are conducting our research with our professors, but our mentors in the DeepMind, they are not, again, I want to state that they are not directing our studies, and we are not we don't deeply know their current research topics because they have some, we also have some privacy issues, of course, our studies. So, but if I ask him a question about the topics I study, he gives some hints, which is also a great because he is working in DeepMind. He's working with other brilliant researchers, and he knows the trends. He can see the trends. What should we study? What is good to study? What is good to focus on? So he gives some hints, which is also a great thing. So I can say that maybe all of us, all scholars, we are always looking forward to meet our mentors in our monthly meetings.
Nice. Just a second. Yeah, that was very nice, Gülçin. So I believe we got a similar feedback from all the previous speakers as well. So this mentorship program, it is mainly about career development. So let me also emphasize this because sometimes people think that if this is a research partnership, it is necessarily not. So the DeepMind researchers, they are not obliged to give you research advice, but so this is not a part of their job as a mentor, but they end up doing that based on, end up there because if you ask them, they will answer. So what they cannot do is they cannot share their current research at DeepMind, which is of course protected under NDAs and all of that. But based on your feedback, I believe that they are more than happy to point you towards what are the interesting papers in your field. And what kind of advice they can give you as develop your career as a researcher in artificial intelligence. All right. So lastly, Gülçin, do you have any tips for potential applicants about the application process or the interview part?
I I want to emphasize the motivation thing. Both Yağmur and Feyza explained greatly and give great hints, but I want to emphasize the motivation. For me, as you may have noticed, I immediately started my graduate studies, both master and PhD, because I was very determined about my career choice, even in high school, and I was like, I want to be an academician in university, in high school. So luckily, I became sure about my desire when I was an undergraduate student, and I managed to come until this point. It doesn't mean that everyone should be very confident about their choice. Both of my friends worked in the industry, and they saw that they wanted to do their master, which is a great thing. But the critical and common point between us is the motivation, I think. So graduate studies are hard to manage without the motivation. If you are not curious about the topic you are working on, or if you are, how can I say, if you don't like to question something, which is the core of being a researcher, it will be a painful process for you. So my motivation to come this way was to provide intelligent solutions to the problems and to increase awareness of women in our country for studying AI. So DeepMind has also the same motivation for us, and they support us without expecting anything from us. They just want to help us so that we can contribute to improve our country in AI, and we can increase awareness such that women in AI can do incredible jobs. So therefore, they made a collaboration with Istanbul Technical University, only with ITU in Turkey, and ITU is selecting people based on their motivation. AI background is not the first criteria to be selected, as Nazim Hoca also emphasized. If you are passionate about AI and feel motivated to study AI, it's important to show it both in your statement of purpose and both in your interview, since it's the critical point for both ITU and DeepMind.
Thanks a lot, Gülşen. That was an excellent answer. I wish I had said that. So you actually touched all the topics. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, so our last speaker is Bengisu. Hello, Bengisu.
Hello.
Thanks a lot for sparing your time with us. So the questions are basically the same. It will be great if you could speak a little bit about your background. How did you decide to apply to this program? You can start from that.
Sure. As I said, I graduated from computer engineering department and electronics and communication engineering department. Firstly, I was unsure of whether I wanted to pursue computer engineering, so I wanted to do a double major with electronics and communication engineering. But as my Bachelor of Studies continued, I found out that the real thing that I was passionate about was artificial intelligence. So at my last years, especially my fourth year, I took many courses on artificial intelligence, and I did many projects on them. And as my undergraduate thesis, I worked on reinforcement learning on robotics. And as I approached the end of my bachelor studies, I found out that I care more on reinforcement learning parts, the core learning problem, more than robotics problems. And I wish to do research on more core problems. So I don't really want to pursue research in the applied sense. Then these parts enforced my motivation on pursuing a PhD. Then, therefore, I wanted to continue to my master's studies. In how I heard about this program, of course, since I'm at Istanbul Technical University, it was easier for me to hear. Also from my friends and from my chosen advisors. As I mentioned, my core interest was more on the learning problem, and as I was approaching the end of my bachelor thesis, I was really interested about how would reinforcement learning scale across multiple agents. So as my graduate research focus, I chose that. So I'm currently focused on multi-agent reinforcement learning and the issues entailed with that. After starting this scholarship program, it was really good for me. First of all, I was thinking about financing myself throughout my studies by maybe applying for teaching assistantship, but of course, these are not for sure, and one can never know when it will be available. So this scholarship opportunity came before the assistantship opportunities, and of course, as Gülsün said, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It was a really good chance to financially support myself, and it also enables oneself to fully focus on your graduate studies. It doesn't steal your time to do any other work in the industry. Of course, if that's your focus and if that's what you do, industrial experience is invaluable. But since I wanted to focus on more core subjects and not very focused on applied research, I didn't want to enhance myself in that way. And I guess if there isn't any more question about how I found the program, I can tell you about mentorship aspects.
Yeah, of course, that will be my next question. Thanks for the excellent introduction. It actually makes me very happy to see that all of you are coming from very different backgrounds and motivations. Some of you are coming from a very industrial background, but want to focus on academia. Some were already in the academia, so it's very interesting to hear about all these different experiences. But yes, Bengüsü, please continue with the mentorship experience and all the other benefits of being a DeepMind scholar.
Sure. First of all, since DeepMind is a company with a really strong expertise on learning, especially reinforcement learning, and also my mentor is working on that area and is a really successful person in it, it's really good to get advice from him. Especially I have incidences such that I'm reading a paper that I'm very interested in, and it's about my research, and I can directly ask him about it. Even if I understand the whole thing, I can understand. What were you wanting? What did you want to go with that, or what like this chatting? It's really good. Another part is, he was also an academic, so he really could tell me about what was the strong side of being an academic and what was the strong side of being in the industry, where the research is not solely focused on applied. And of course, I can't decide for myself without living the experience, but it's good to have someone tell you before you experience it. Just like foreshadowing. And as other friends said, it's nice to get advice on something, and if we can understand something, we can ask them. And the other side, maybe we can take their advices on what we should be focusing on, what we should be prioritizing. Maybe as students, of course, our advisors also mentor us, but of course, two is better than one. So it's good to have another opinion on what we should prioritize in our studies, which we as students wouldn't know. So I think these are all great sides, and it's also really nice to be able to just chat with someone on your interest and artificial intelligence in these topics. And this person is really experienced in that field. It might be really hard to find even in academia.
That is very nice. I mean, that is the amazing thing about this mentorship program, right? These are DeepMind researchers, so they're at the top of your field. And if they happen to actually, overlap with your research interests, I guess that's like a match made in heaven, right? I mean, so
Yes.
That's a great experience. Okay, lastly, Bengisu, do you have any recommendations or tips for the applicants?
I mean, I probably don't need to repeat on my colleagues on what they recommended, but I can say that being sure of your interests and objectives is not only important to get the scholarship, but to maintain it. I mean, if we want to get the full experience from it, we should really be sure of our objectives, because maybe it won't be what we want, and it's really better to be sure of ourselves first. I mean, not just to get the scholarship, but to make sure that the scholarship reaches where it's aimed, reach its goals.
That was a very good answer, Bengisu. Thank you very much. I would like to thank everyone again for excellent answers. I think it was really helpful for people who wanted to find more about the scholarship program. So this is the last part where we are going to answer some of the questions from YouTube. There are several questions. By the way, if you have...
By the way, start this question, I want to also mention something. May I mention?
Sure.
Okay. Actually, İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi has some research group. For example, after I accept the master degree program, I also joined a broadband communication research group. And for new candidates of master's degree and PhD program, you can also consult your professor and you can find appropriate research group for you, or you can also join an industrial project, as Nazim Hoca already mentioned.
Thanks for mentioning that, Yağmur. I want to also say that again. Yes, this is a great scholarship program, but if somehow it doesn't fit you because you don't qualify, or you are looking for some other kind of financial support, always feel free to email to us. Always feel free to reach out to us. We have financial support and all kinds of other support for all the students or the highly skilled students out there. Please email me or email to our website. We will be more than happy to help you and see if there's a suitable spot for you at ITU. All right, so I want to manage the time. I want to quickly jump into questions. So we have a question from Kübra. She is asking, is there anything expected from us from the side of DeepMind? For example, a collaborative patent application, etc. So again, the question is, what does DeepMind expect from scholars? I believe scholars can answer that the best. Anybody wants to answer?
I can answer it.
Yes, please, Gülşen.
As I also previously said, DeepMind does not expect anything from us. For example, they don't say you should publish at least 2 papers in top tier conference, etc. They don't expect that from us. But since we've become a DeepMind scholar, we also want to show us and show our potential so that DeepMind can continue to support our university. So that's our motivation. And to be honest, being, how can I say, since DeepMind does not expecting clearly anything, it's good to pursue our studies without that burden also. For example, I expanded my master study as a journal paper, and we submitted. It's in the revision part, in the revision process. But I sometimes think that if DeepMind said me that you should publish a journal paper, maybe that wouldn't happen. because since I didn't feel that burden, it was easier to conduct these studies. So, but of course, since we are representing ITU and our country, we should be motivated to show us.
Excellent answer. Thanks, Gülçin. Anybody wants to add to that, like in terms of what does DeepMind expect from the scholars?
I can add.
Yes.
I mean, as far as I've seen, maybe a small lot. I mean, DeepMind expects us to get the most of our studies, really. And the second thing that we can say DeepMind expects from us is to really create a network of young scholars. I mean, one of DeepMind's really good aim is they want to create this network where these young scholars, which they expect to be successful in the future, can get to know each other, create a network, and flourish all together.
Nice. Yeah, that's actually a very good point, Bengisu, because all the scholars are connected in a sense, right? Because you have a separate Slack channel and everything. You can actually talk with all the other
actually
scholars, right?
They want us to talk to each other and
nice.
Yes.
This is actually a very big network. Scholars are supported everywhere in the world. I believe it started in England, of course, United Kingdom, where DeepMind is based, but now they have scholars from Canada, US, I believe even from Africa, right? So yeah, that's actually a great opportunity to get in touch, with people with similar backgrounds. And I want to say that is actually very important. Again, about my experience, my greatest experience studying abroad for my studies was the network. I got to know, amazing people. So do networking as much as possible. It really helps pushing your career. Anybody wants to add to that answer, or we are good with that question? Okay, good. Yeah, I also want to add that DeepMind virtually asks nothing.
I can add.
Yes, please, Yağmur. Yağmur, is that you?
Okay. Yes.
Yes, please go on. Yeah, you can go on, Yağmur.
Okay. DeepMind just expect for all scholarship. If you are became a scholarship, you can work at any company. Just one scholarship program.
Can you say that again? I couldn't hear you very well. Maybe there was a connection issue.
Okay. DeepMind just expect to all scholarship. If a people became a scholar, he or she can't study at any company because they just want to focus on their research.
Yes. So that is maybe something we need to mention because people ask that too. Thanks for emphasizing that. Yes, we want to accept people who are going to be full-time researchers, full-time graduate students at ITU. If you want to work at a company and do a master's or PhD at the same time, that is not the kind of applicants we are looking for. So I want to emphasize that if you are serious about the scholarship program, we want you to be a full-time ITU student and not do anything else, just do AI research. So thanks for reminding us that. And yeah, I also want to wrap up this question by saying that no, DeepMind virtually asks nothing of you. They just want you to be active with the mentorship program, talk with other students, etc. But they do not require you to publish papers or do some other stuff. There are no requirements for that. They are just happy to support us. So there are also several other questions. Asena actually has a lot of questions. Thanks a lot, Asena, for the questions. Maybe we will not answer all of them, but maybe the most specific ones. One question is interesting. We have already touched upon that, but I want to talk about that again. Asena is asking, you said that you would not expect an amazing knowledge about artificial intelligence. But could you please be more specific? What do you expect from the applicants? I will answer that question, but once again, first I want to let scholars talk about this. Maybe you can, you have already talked about that, but maybe you can be more specific about before applying to this program, what kind of experience you had in artificial intelligence. Anybody want to be more specific about that? Anybody wants to?
Okay, I can give an answer.
Yes.
My graduation test focused on drone multicopter, and I use machine learning in drone network as firstly. At industrial perspective, I already mentioned I work at international project, and 3 of them related AI and machine learning. One of them directly related network alarm detection using machine learning. The other one related airport management system using machine learning. My background was like that.
Nice. So that's actually a good question. You had some prior exposure to machine learning and artificial intelligence, but it is not like you had, a lot of paper or research experience on this subject. So that should actually encourage people to apply. But we also have applicants who had some prior experience. Anybody wants to talk about that? Your prior experience in artificial intelligence?
By the way, I also at this, I don't have any papers before accepted this scholarship related machine learning. I just have one paper and it's not related machine learning.
Okay, nice. Thanks for adding that, Yağmur. Anybody else wants to be more specific about their AI background?
Maybe
Yes.
I can tell. Since I'm the only PhD student right now, that means I conducted my master's studies. I can't say I'm more experienced in the knowledge base, but I worked in Vision Lab for 4 years. And of course, I had the basics, especially on deep learning and computer vision problems. So maybe if you want to feel more encouraged to apply this program and to start doing your master or PhD, maybe you can finish some online courses. If, for example, if you're interested in deep reinforcement learning or deep learning in image projects or any other AI related NLP, etc., there are various kinds of online courses from great universities. And also, for example, if you want to start doing your graduate studies in ITU, you can also contact with us and we can share our experience, our documents about our knowledge, some classes, etc. We can also share them, but they are not necessity. If you have basic machine learning knowledge, I think that will be enough and good. You don't have to, as Yağmur said, you don't have to have any paper or etc.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot, Gülçin and Yağmur, for the excellent answers. And I want to also emphasize that, yes, we are not looking for expertise in AI. If you do, that is great. I'm not saying that, we are just looking for, people who have no background. Of course, it helps, but it is not necessary. It is not necessary at all. So what we want to see as the selection committee, especially in your statement of purpose, we want to see that you are passionate and you are interested in AI. So basically, if your statement of purpose reads like, I have heard about this great thing called AI, I know it is the future and I want to be a part of it, that is not going to impress us. But if you point towards some specific applications, points towards what you believe is going to be the next big thing in AI, if you show your interest and passion, then that is actually more than enough. And of course, your reference letters means a lot. Please try to get reference letters from people who work with you and who can talk about your skills and your personality. So that will help a lot. That is what we are looking for. But like all the other people mentioned, no big expertise is required. Okay, I want to move into next question. So there's a question from Azize. She's asking...
Sir, maybe I can add something related to the previous question. I mean, the thing I would like to add is not about getting the scholarship or not, or the necessity background, but I mean, if what you really look forward from the scholarship experience is to do your master's on a specific subject and do research in it. I mean, it can be that you see a topic and it's an artificial intelligence. It looks really nice. I mean, it might be that having a course on it and doing a mini project can be interesting, but doing more than that and doing research might not be that interesting. So even if it's not at the level of writing a paper, doing some mini projects on Coursera or having at least seen them and seeing how the things go there might give you more idea about what you want to work on. Because artificial intelligence is not something that every researcher does this one thing. It might be that one part, one might like vision and one might not like it. NLP might be better for someone. One might be more interesting in the representation learning part and one might be in decision making. So of course, writing a paper would be very specific knowledge, but at least following things on Coursera, like platforms, might give you any idea about what you would like to do your thesis on and would not regret doing your thesis on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bengisu. That was actually a great point as well. Thanks for mentioning that. So yeah, I want to, since we are a little bit over time, I want to get this quick a little bit. There are several questions. I am going to answer them, very quickly. If you want to add anything, raise your hand like Bengisu did, and I will let you talk. Okay. So Azize is asking, is there any age restriction for the scholarship? The answer is no. There are no age restrictions at all. You can be as young as old as you want, as long as you qualify for the other qualifications. You just need to convince us that regardless of your age, I don't know how old or how young you are committed to doing, good research in AI. And it doesn't matter. Age is not a factor here. Another question, Asena is also asking about the start. Is our classes going to be online next semester or not? I cannot answer that at this point. I don't know. It really depends on, it depends on the university. It is their decision. So I wouldn't be able to comment on that. So time will tell. But as long as you get admitted to the ITU program, and if you get admitted to this scholarship, I think we can work something out. You might not, take classes for the first semester or do something else. So that shouldn't stop you from, applying. That is all I'm going to say. Julia has a long question. So she is asking, it is obligatory for someone to be admitted to a graduate program in computer science. She has been in touch with some academicians for some time, but most of them are already working with maximum number of students, and she cannot reach some of them. So she asks what she can do. So Julia, what you can do is send emails again and again. So that is actually something I recommend to everyone who is emailing me. Unfortunately, most professors have a very crazy schedule. Like they work day and night, they are managing multiple projects. So sometimes we just forget about replying to emails. So please send emails over and over again. Worst case scenario, you will not hear back. But there has been multiple instances where somebody emailed me, I forgot to reply, they emailed me again, then I replied. Okay, so that happened a lot. So another thing you can do is try to reach out to students who are working with these professors and, try to get tips from them, how to apply to their lab, like how you can get in touch with the professors. So there are a lot of professors in the computer science department, just push for that. And normally I would also recommend coming to the school and try to, talk to them face to face. I know you cannot do that right now. Most of them are, including me, are not working from our offices. But just, try to contact as many people as possible. And this maximum number of student limits, I know about this problem. I am also having this problem. A lot of other professors are having it. But I am also hearing that there is some ongoing work on relaxing that. So please do not let that stop you from applying. As long as you get admitted, you also do not need an advisor for the first term, okay? So you will have like 3 or 4 months where you can actively search for an advisor. And believe me, if your application is solid, like if you are a very solid application, if you get admitted, one way or another, you will find a professor, okay? So don't let that from stopping you. There are also multiple other questions, for example, about, how can we apply MEMS to AI and stuff like that. So I will answer this question by saying that almost any application of artificial intelligence you can think of, we have a professor who are working on this topic. So just go to our website, ai.itu.edu.tr, look at all the professors, and I'm sure you will find someone who, are interested in doing that kind of research. Okay, so I believe these are all the major questions. We are a little bit over time, so I want to wrap this up really quick. First of all, I want to thank all of the amazing scholars we have here today. Your answers were very insightful. I'm sure they were helpful for all the potential applicants as well. I want to thank you again. Sometimes people ask me, what is your favorite thing about being a professor? And I usually tell them it is the students, it is the people. And the main reason for that is you guys just inspire us, with your glow, your energy, your motivation, your determination. I feel very blessed and very thankful to be as a part of this university where we have amazing students like you. You really, help us inspire, continuing all of this, hard work. Thanks for all your time, dedication, and hard work again. I would also like to thank again DeepMind, specifically people who are working closely with me on coordinating all of this. Sylvia Christie, Obum Ekeke, Ali Ahmad. Thanks a lot for supporting us with all this crazy paperwork we need to go through to getting everything approved. I also would like to thank my amazing colleagues at ITU AI. Again, they are a big source of inspiration for me. I am very happy to have them as my colleagues and collaborators. And finally, I want to thank Mehmet. Mehmet is one of the PhD students and our technical specialist who is working at our research center. He is the technical wizard, behind everything we do. Thanks a lot, Mehmet, for supporting us. And I am also told that people are thanking in chat. So I believe this session was a success. So people found it helpful. I want to again tell that if you have any more questions about scholarship, you can always reach me. Just search for my name in Google and you will see that I am very reachable. It is very easy to get my contact information. I'm assuming that our scholars are also open to answer questions and help you. You can find them from LinkedIn, or I'm sure you can reach to them through their emails. Maybe guys, if you have access to a YouTube chat, you can, write down your email if you want to, help to people who want to get the scholarship program. And I believe that's it for today. Thanks everyone. And we are looking forward to all the applications. Have a great evening and talk to you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for everything.
Goodbye.